Hey everybody, it's Gil here from the Sailing Vessel Dream Chaser, and we are on Oahu in Hawaii.
This is actually a company award trip, and amazingly enough, they put us up at the Four Seasons Hotel and Resort, and the rooms are just beautiful. You can see the restroom is huge in there, big bathtub and shower. The room is plenty spacious, and the best part of this is every room has its own balcony, and just step right outside and see this view. And once out on the balcony, you can see the beautiful Pacific Ocean right there. We're going to see beautiful sunsets out here tonight. You can tell that. I might have to do a time lapse of one of these. But then a nice relaxing chair and tables and lounge chair, and then back into the room that also has a couch and TV and place to relax. Right on the first day, we look out and see this sailboat just cruising along in the water out there. It was a great view, and we love this every morning and evening. Just to give you an idea how lush everything is. These little huts are where they do massages. Another koi in the koi pond.
It was a beautiful first day. We had a great time, relaxed, checked out the resort. We had a nice welcome dinner for all of us that had sort of reached this sort of attainment, if you will, for this trip, which was just phenomenally humbling. The company always does such a great job of it, and man, I gotta thank all the people on my team who I don't go there without them overperforming. So really, really cool time. The next morning, Deb and I had a spa day. One of the things they did was sent you to the spa at the Four Seasons, which was absolutely amazing. I do go get massages. I enjoy having a nice massage, but this spa was one of these certainly high-end jobbers. It was 4 stories and 35,000 square feet. You go in and they bring you into the relaxation room and locker rooms, and they had all the toiletry items that you might need. They had a wet sauna and a dry sauna and a hot whirlpool. They had a plunge pool with cold water. They had an actual swimming pool up on the roof you could leverage. You could go back into the little refreshment area and sit inside or outside on the patio within the trees while you awaited your turn for your massage. Massage rooms were wonderful. The person that did the massage was really, really good. Heck, I kept telling her my hip or my leg was a little tight, and she's like, well, just relax. Let me stretch it a little bit. And she kept saying, well, just relax. I'm like, you're not relaxing in this position. My legs don't typically bend that way. But man, it was an awesome time. And the nice thing was Deb and I both went at the same time, so we got to go in, spend an hour or so ahead of time in the relaxing spa, and then actually get our massage. And then we opted to leave after that. A lot of other people stayed and enjoyed the pools or whatever. But we did try something really cool, and I'll show you some footage of it. It's a thing they called Sense Sync, and it was all about this supposedly to either relax or rejuvenate you, and it was a sort of sensory thing. Virtual reality, you put a VR helmet on, you lay in this pod, if you will, and the pod, the chair moves, it vibrates. Where you turn your head, the scenery in the VR world actually respond to what you're looking at. You move in the direction you're actually turning your head to. And they even had a little thing that hung off the VR thing right by your nose. And in one of these things, I was going through like a cavern, if you will. The best way to describe it would be like a cage. And when you looked up at the rocky roof, you could see roots coming through some of them. And anytime you went into a cave area where there was like an opening and you could see sunlight through it and maybe tree branches coming in, you could smell fresh flowers. It would pump smells into it. It was really, the term I would use is unbelievably immersive. I wouldn't say it relaxed or rejuvenated me because I'm a technology geek, so I was checking it all out and looking all around, and I moved my head around so much. Heck, I'm surprised I should have done this first. My neck was probably stiff from doing all the motion, but a really cool experience, and I'll show you the footage of it because it was futuristic and a little wacky looking for sure.
Deb and I are about to try SenSync, sort of a sensory, 3-dimensional virtual reality relaxation thing, so we'll see what it's like. This was the promotional video they showed before we got in there, and Deb ultimately ended up going first, and you pick the sort of themes you want. You have up to 20 minutes or so of different themes. Some are 1, 2, 10 minutes long, etc. So you picked all those. And it was very funny. You see Deb, a couple times she's having to hold it a little bit just because the headset was a little bit heavy and didn't fit real tight on her head. But it goes over your glasses. And then I thought it'd be funny, where I was doing it, I put it in fast motion. You can see just how much I was looking around. I'm checking out everything that I'm seeing around me. And it was sort of a zero gravity thing. It was kind of like you were floating along. So when you looked down, you could see things below you. If you looked up, you could see things on the roof or the sky above you. It was pretty wild. The next day, we had this amazing venue called the Lifestrand House. That was from their website, and we got a tour of it, and then they catered a meal there. They rented this place out. It was on the hillside above Honolulu. Looked down over Waikiki and Honolulu, and you see we're walking through the back of the house. I guess the front would face the hillside. This is the master bedroom as we were stepping in there, and this right here is the view out of the master bedroom window. So one whole side of it was just all glass, right kind of above the owner's beds, and the owner had passed away. It's now part of a foundation, so nobody lives there, but like, look at this view. I'm standing on the other side of the bed, and that's what it looks like. Heck, Deb and I even stood outside on the back patio overlooking the hillside and just kind of scanned the horizon behind us. This is the view from the master bedroom of this house, just to give you an idea of what it looks like here. These views of Honolulu, I'll zoom in a second. We're going to be having dinner in the backyard right here under this tent. Just to give you an idea of the house here, look at this. Just gorgeous. I mentioned zooming in on this. We're going to have a beautiful sunset. We're covered in clouds, but it's going to be right even through those trees. So walking to the other side of the house, this was the view from the side patio there. And off to the side here, there was a pool up on the hillside. And then again, you can just sort of see the view that's off of this particular house. And it's, you know, I don't know, 270-degree view or something like that. Just absolutely amazing. And as the sun started to set, we really enjoyed just kind of standing out here and checking it out during a cocktail hour. Coming down to the back of the house again, this is that view, and they set up this beautiful area for us to enjoy dinner. They had sort of a cocktail hour and reception and house tour, so you can see we're just hanging around a little bit, chatting with folks and enjoying the sunset. And then as the meal got a little closer, you can see it's a pretty small group for this first couple of days, maybe 30 of us that won the trip. Man, as the sunset, even the nighttime views were just gorgeous of the city. And we enjoyed a little bit of live music as well. They hired for us.
5 days in back, 6 o'clock on the day that we got married. Finally, I had and I dropped it in the sand.
Did you end up finding it?
Yeah, but it was like one of those
While we enjoyed this wonderful dinner, I had left the camera back on the balcony just to capture the time lapse and the sunset, and it was gorgeous as you would expect. So as the night closes, we plan our next day to drive around Oahu. The next morning we got up early and we decided to go from the southwest corner of the island where we were in the Ko'olina area up the western side of the island to the north shore, go all the way around the northern side and check out the waves of Oahu's northern shore where you see all the big surfing competitions, and then make our way down south on the eastern side of the island toward Diamond Head, ultimately into Waikiki and Honolulu, and then make our way again westward across Pearl Harbor and back to Ko'olina. We had a great time.
So right behind us is kind of the Oahu's famed North Shore. We're in a small town. I'd love to tell you the name of it, but I can't pronounce anything here. So we'll show you some of the sights and sounds and whatnot from Hawaii as Deb and I enjoy some of our time here. And you can see Deb enjoying a swing right here behind us on the shoreline. But I do have to show you, look at this house behind us here. Hold on, I'm going to turn the camera around. It's amazing. Think of the property value of something like this, just crazy.
As we continued further up the North Shore, we saw this cool place with some falls, and we did a little bit of hiking in there. It's really hard to take the camera and get footage of all of this, just because I didn't want to get them wet, and it was a little rainy and muddy, and my luck, I'd pull it out and then slip down the hill with it. But yeah, it was really beautiful. I'd love to tell you the name of it, but again, I can't pronounce half of it. And it was interesting to see some of these giant wind generators on the island too. And what was interesting to me is, this is the island that's probably the most densely populated, and I saw the least number of windmills here than I've seen on Maui or Kauai when we've been there in the past. But again, some of these sites are just beautiful. Other parts of the city, they look like a city, but man, along the North Shore, we just couldn't get enough of stopping at each little beach area, walking along the sand, checking it out, taking some video, watching the swimmers and or surfers, and it looks pretty calm right here. But these are big rock embankments. I don't know where those waves are coming right there. They're probably 6, 8, 10 feet tall. So yeah, there's quite a big number of waves coming through here, and the power is just amazing. As we drove further north on the island, we really got to the place where the wind was not encumbered by land. It kind of blows from the north and was coming right in here. We saw a couple of folks windsurfing. So I'll end this video with some footage here as we play this out. But wait till you see how fast these guys were going on these windsurfing boards. I was shocked at just the speed they had as they were going through here.